The following podcast is scheduled for one fall with no time limit.
Super hot fire!
The greatest spectacle in podcast entertainment, Mr. Nestlemania.
That was literally verbal diarrhea. I'm setting the bar awfully low. Titus O'Neil keeps running directly into that bar. Get him off my TV, get him off my TV. You make me very angry.
The man who has a better IQ than you, the awe-inspiring JC.
You should go work for WWE because you'd be so far up Vince's butt.
No.
Oh, you are such a sucker.
You
You
are.
defend everything, all the bad moves they make.
This is the Jobber Knocker Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Jobber Knocker Podcast. As always, I'm Nestlemania. Alongside for the ride is JC. We have finally gotten to go home Rumble Week.
Let's get ready to rumble. But before we do that, a lot of good things happening at the Jobber Knocker, so make sure you rate us 5 stars because we like that. Buy our shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees /Jobber Knocker, whatever the hell it is. We have a website, jobberknocker.com. There's lots of shit up there right now, man.
Yeah, there is.
We are pumping out the shit. It's good shit, though. Danny wrote an article, which was about...
Yeah, the best 2019.
He did the best
Who expects
Superstars
that? 2019.
You did booking the NXT call-ups, which is also up there. There will also be NXT and NXT UK analysis pieces coming. This is recording Wednesday right now, so later tonight, Thursday morning-ish. So check out for those. And, of course, NXT TakeOver and Royal Rumble predictions, preview, all that shit coming your way. So make sure you are dialed into jobberknocker.com for all that. But you know what? It's time to go to the Shine, baby. And you know what? Alito versus Rey Mysterio. Mysterio.
Booyah.
Whatever. You get it.
Wow.
Main event of SmackDown Live. Main event of the Jobber Knocker podcast because that match was super hot fire.
Every time you do that, I'm wondering when the time is going to be when you actually vomit. Because you've told me when you shake like that, it does trigger some type of gag reflex.
Yeah.
It's a little
But this match
unsettling.
does not do that. This match just makes me want to like...
La on the kitchen on the floor, like an alley cat, drinking milk up off the floor or whatever
Just
the
makes
next
you
line
want to
is.
like go streaking. Like out of
Through the
excitement.
quad?
Yeah.
Through the quad?
Just rip your shirt off and go.
I got to tell you, first off, when I was watching this, that top rope tiger bomb.
Oh my God.
Woo-wee.
I could watch that on loop.
Well, there's a GIF out there, I'm sure. But
Yeah, I did watch it on loop.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Twitter's for. But no, when I saw this as the main event, I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be good. And then the first fall was like it felt like longer than I expected it to go.
It was the powerbomb was the first fall.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And it was just like it was kind of back and forth. And then right after the first fall, and they did the tiger bomb. I'm like, okay, that's it. Like that's the high point. And then of course they go for the fucking what was it? There's like a flip. There's a flip Canadian destroyer.
Yeah, they did a Canadian destroyer. I was like, damn.
And it's just like they did that again. They went to go for one of my favorites, which is they did it. And if you go back and this is a match that everybody needs to see. Our boy Billy knows I love this match, and he loves this match a lot. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc. I believe it's 97. One of those two. But you'll find it on YouTube or on the WWE Network. They have
For
the same
$9.99.
Yeah, exactly. They have this great spot where he's on the top rope and he does a backflip into a DDT, which is what they were trying to do, and he fucked it up.
Yeah.
But right away after that, they did like all these crazy things. So it was like, okay, I forgot completely about that.
Yeah, in a match like that, it's like they're already going so crazy with it. Like, if they don't botch a move, that is the most impressive thing in the world.
Oh yeah. And then like the stuff that's unnecessary, like he goes and does like a sliding flip like thing, and it's just like all these. All these things that they're doing, like he does like a sliding Hurricanrana, like he does all these things that are unnecessary. But you're watching it and you're like, oh yeah. And then of course after that it's like a reverse Hurricanrana. They're doing all these fucking things to kill themselves, and it's so breathtaking and it's such high energy. And people are like, those goddamn spot monkeys. But like honestly, I was enjoying every second of it.
Like I'll take that.
I'll take that all day, every day, twice on Sunday. But it's just, oh my God, that was a religious experience.
Yeah.
That was church, baby.
Sure. But you know what happened is
No sell.
in came Satanic Joe to ruin it. That bastard took away our match, but you know what? Samoa Joe did his thing, and it ended even better because we got an RK out of nowhere. Everyone all night was like, we haven't seen Randy Orton for like a month, and I was like, he's going to stand tall at the end of SmackDown because he's won 2 Rumbles. Sure enough,
There he
Mr.
is.
RKO, out of nowhere, it was perfectly done, perfectly executed. Joe had the great face that they all get right when it's coming. So overall, I thought this was a fantastic end to a very solid SmackDown.
I gotta say, I forgot that he had 2 Royal Rumble victories because I always remember
He could tie Austin if he wins this one.
He's not winning, but he
yeah,
might win another one. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I forgot about the one he won recently. Like I remember the one about 25.
That was when he was with the Wyatt family.
Yeah. I forgot all about that. Probably took it out of my mind.
Well, because remember, it was weird because he said he's like, I'm not going to challenge Bray for the title. And so, like, they set up, like Styles might face him, but then it was
Yeah.
just like, Orton's like, no, actually, I am. And then we had the weird, match with the shit on the ring, like the worms.
Yeah. Now you say it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So Randy Orton stands tall. And look, I'll tell you right now, I didn't watch it live. So, like, for me, I got the notifications, which I still have to stop doing. I have to get those off of my phone.
Can't get out of your own way.
I know, notification nestle. So look, so I saw Samoa Joe and Randy Orton ruin the main event, and I was like, oh my God, are they a team? Because I called that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, and then I saw it, I was like, well, that was a lot cooler than what I thought was going to happen, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a great ending to SmackDown. So let's move on. What else did you like?
Mufasa Ali's vignette was dope. I know he's
Mufasa.
been doing those on 205 Live because
Yeah.
I'd actually seen one before, but like that, it's just so different than like the standard like bullshit we get that it was a really nice mix up, and it was just like I'm just like, because normally a lot of the times I'm either not pay attention or I fast forward, but like I didn't want to fast forward. I was glued. I was like, this is great. It was just a different look, a different feel, and it did a lot for me for him as a character because obviously making the transition from 205 Live to SmackDown, like, just naturally you're going to look at him differently because you were told that he was in a lower weight class and all this, and now he's coming up with the big boys that it's going to take a bit for us to buy in, and I thought this promo was very effective in making him look like a complete and total badass.
So are you behind him all the way now? Do you think he's like a
I've
full-fledged
always liked
big
Mustafa
deal?
Ali. I just kind of like to give you shit about him because it's fun. But
Well,
I was kind of hoping he'd steal one against Joe, but Joe needed a victory too because he's been kind of like
Joe's in that
purgatory.
final. I'm convinced Joe's in that final 4.
We'll talk about that later, but
in our predictions.
The
I'm
reason
sure.
why I wanted to bring all that stuff up first is because we've kind of talked about how the Royal Rumble matches itself, like they don't need to build them just because we're gonna like them, whatever.
Sure.
But this was the first time like SmackDown like actually like building up their stars about the Rumble, so it was nice.
I do feel like I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but it does feel like the build-up for the Rumble itself has been kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
And I know how you feel like, oh, yeah, it sells itself.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to
But
be there.
still, I like
Casuals will
it.
come back.
Yeah.
But it still gets you more excited when you look at something and you go, hey, yeah, Seth Rollins could win. McIntyre could win. Joe might win. Miz could win. All these people that you fantasize about and you get like super excited about.
Fantasize.
That was probably the wrong word, at least Freudian slip-wise. But no, it's just you do that and you go, you start to think about all these cool things that could happen, which is why we do the 30 Hopes.
Oh, I can't wait.
Later on in the program. But it's so much fun, and I think that's what the Royal Rumble is. It's really that shotgun start to like the adrenaline rush that you're excited about being a wrestling fan for those 3 months. And it just seems like there's not a lot of like oomph.
Yeah.
So it's bothersome, but I should be excited.
The other thing we got too was kicking off the show. We got another super hot fire Becky promo as usual. Asuka comes out and says something we didn't understand.
Yeah, she yells.
But then out comes Gothy Charlotte, which just is like, whoa, that's a new look for her. I like it because it made her look like more of that heel badass. And she cut a promo about how she's going to win the Rumble. So it was again SmackDown focusing on the Rumble, and obviously Charlotte is the main player in that right now until we see who else is in it, or if like Becky loses or whatever, which we're assuming, but we'll see. But then of course she just incited a brawl between Becky and Asuka. So I thought this was another well done segment.
When I was thinking about this, I did enjoy it. It's something about Asuka when I see her yelling and I don't understand it. It's funny,
Yeah.
but I shouldn't be laughing. I should be more concerned for like this woman's gonna rip somebody's head off.
Yeah,
and so it's weird. I think it's more comical. Like she's very good and she deserves to be at the platform that she's on right now. But when I'm watching it as a fan, I'm thinking, man, why am I laughing at this? Shouldn't I be more concerned for the value of who she is and beating the crap out of somebody?
And this is why, for me, Asuka as that type of champion needs to be a heel. Mm-hmm. Because I just think it will work better because it isn't as relatable for us as an American audience, at least, to when we see that. So I think it'd be much more effective as a heel because then she'd be more of like that badass, like, shit, she might hurt me.
No, you're absolutely right. It's hard for me because like I said, it's probably it is a gap. It is an international gap, but it's frustrating because she's so good.
Yeah.
So you expect more.
You know what else is so good? The video package we got from Mandy Rose
Jesus.
and Naomi. The feud has been so super hot fire.
No.
That video package was hilarious. Joe actually said he thinks it was Sonya voicing it over.
Joe, oh really? Okay.
I didn't rewatch it like I meant to see, but like that would be hilarious to me because I would not have picked up on that.
No, it's not.
I didn't think it was either. But like when he said that, I was like, oh, that'd be funny. And then you know what? Mandy picks up the win in a match that happened. It was
yeah, it was so bad.
Weirdest book finish I've seen in a long time.
You have to listen. Did the package do way more than it should have? Absolutely.
The package was awesome.
But you have to. This is my one moment here. I'm calling you on the carpet. At least say that this was not the best match.
Did you listen to what I said?
You said it was
a match.
Meaning that both of these women were not necessarily very good.
Adam, I mean, that's the most you're going to get out of me. But I mean, Mandy won.
We're in the shine. I get it.
Mandy won.
Listen.
No, we can talk about that. The way they booked that finish
was
was weird.
It was a dud.
Because it seemed like the Mandy distracted the ref by running into her, and then Sonya was supposed to do something.
Here's the thing.
But then it's just we got a kick from Naomi, which killed her. But then the ref turned right back around and was staring at her, watched Mandy grab her and slam her head into a pole, and then try to get her back in the ring, and then it was very...
And then you got Mandy. And that was it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she won. That's all that matters. That's all I need to remember. But it was very weird.
It was bad.
It was not well.
It was
booked
bad
at all.
It was bad, and it was the participants involved, as which I've told you before. Mandy is absolutely the selling that Mandy has sometimes is just either nothing or it's just like Looney Tunes. There's no middle ground with her.
She's powerful. It's hard to injure her.
Oh my God, you have so many excuses.
But you know what?
Her. You know what? Hold on.
But there's going to be more. You know that there's a reason that Mandy and Sonya are getting this push because those women tag titles are coming soon. And also coming soon to jobberknocker.com. JC is going to power rank the tag teams for the women's division on who should win the titles at Elimination Chamber.
Boy.
Coming soon to Jobbernknocker.
What a tease. I didn't even know about that.
There's Ariana Grande references and everything else in that article. So you're going to love it. Danny edited it. I got to make sure he didn't edit that because it would look like a typo, but it was not. I'll have to double check that.
What, the Ariana Grande?
I don't know. You'll just have to see. That's all I'll say. Coming soon.
It's
like Lars Sullivan, except for it
maybe not.
Will actually probably come.
Some people do sometimes. Anyway, something else that I really enjoyed, and you may not have, but I did, was AJ and Daniel Bryan, specifically Daniel Bryan calling out the baby boomers. I love this. I thought this was so great. I appreciated the fact that he was outside. He looked like he hadn't showered in forever. He was
coward.
Hashtag
He's
shower
literally
dodger.
the Miz. He's the Miz.
Yeah, it's great. And then, he's sitting in there, and Vince is like,
get in the ring, damn it.
Yeah, and he's just like, and then you and the baby boomers, everybody out here worships you, and they go and they put their hands up and they bow to you, and he goes, you are the worst of them all. And then he's like, get in the ring. And it was so good. I really enjoyed it because I thought this entire segment was a throwaway. Like, I watched it and went, okay,
it was,
here we go.
It was an entertaining throwaway. I thought it went a little on.
Sure.
But Daniel Bryan's was good.
He carried that entire segment.
And Vince was hilarious with his interjections.
Oh, yeah. It was perfect. It felt like AJ has gotten lost, even more in the shuffle, which is weird to me.
I think he's been more effective the last couple weeks than he had been just because he kind of has more of that edge as opposed to, smiling AJ, but it's not there yet.
It's really frustrating, honestly, because you look at it this way. You look at Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, meh. You look at Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor, everybody's got boned up, ready to go.
That match is going to be super hot fire.
But that's what I'm saying is you figure at the WrestleMania season's time that you figure all these important title matches are important, but I get it.
The problem is we've seen Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles 30 times.
Sure.
So that's why for me I thought it would have been more effective to put AJ in the Rumble and have him have a good showing than have him just lose to Daniel Bryan again. Have Daniel Bryan face Mustafa Ali at Rumble. That would have been a nice way to do it. Because the Rumble's always the focus of the Royal Rumble is the Rumble, so you can get those tag title matches that aren't normally main event level. Mm-hmm. This, I thought that was good. I thought that's what they were going for, but then it was just AJ again. But whatever.
Yeah.
Again, SmackDown was all positive for me. I don't really have anything else I thought was great, but I don't have any other bad things. If you want to go to Raw, or if you have more mentions on SmackDown, it's up to you.
Very quickly, shout out to Chimmel. Chimmel showed up.
I did forget about
that. And they were like, Edge ain't here, get over it, get out of here. And then that was great. So we'll talk more about that later, I'm sure, about the New Day, breaking up or not breaking up as we always do in the 30
Will they, won't they?
Will they, won't they? Exactly. Let's go over to Raw. I'm sure there's some good stuff on Raw, so let's just pick apart that, and then let's get into the rest of the show, huh?
Should we start with the top of the show? Heyman putting over Balor, only he can.
Yep.
Out comes Vince. tells the wrong story about David and Goliath. Then out comes Goliath, number 2, Roar, Braun Strowman, and fumbles over a promo. But then Balor interrupts. We get a match, which apparently was no DQ, even though they never said it. But then it eventually had a DQ.
Yeah.
Because it was just oh, Brock's allowed to hit people. No, he's not. But then he comes in F5. Oh, now it's a DQ.
Right.
But whatever. I still thought it was an effective segment and good for everyone involved.
You're burying the lead, Joshua.
What'd I forget?
In the promo, when he starts talking about, it was in the Bible, and then
Heyman
goes, I've never read the Bible. I'm like, what a great Jewish joke. That was spot on hilarity. I was giggling on my couch. It was great. So then, that was one of my definite topics was here's my biggest problem with the WWE, and I know we're still in the shine, but here's my biggest problem with it, is they negate the rules so much just because they think that it doesn't matter. But that's, to me, the breaking point of if you enforce a rule, it has to stay that way for a certain reason. The fact that he just grabbed him out of the air and suplexed him was no, that's not a DQ.
That should have been DQ.
It was so stupid.
And it's a lot of the reason why we get hung up with some of these things is because it's just we're already we've said before, we're living in a world that's fiction based. We know it's fake, but there are rules which help keep order.
Yeah.
So when you get rid of the rules for no reason, there's no more order, and it's just chaos, but not good chaos. It's just what the fuck is going on?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely there because it took me directly out of it because once I saw that, I go, what the fuck are we doing? Right? Yeah. And then I get, of course, you got to have Braun look good, but you also got to have Balor really just get, beat those
I thought they did a good
odds.
Job building Balor in this.
They did. They did. It was perfectly fine in terms of that. But then, of course, the ending's fine. It's just that one little trinket in the middle that makes you go, that ruined it for me.
Yep.
So it's unfortunate.
And that's why it didn't lead the show and why El Idolo did.
It's true. He did a great job. Something else on Raw that I kind of laughed at but slightly enjoyed until the match started was the pose down. I enjoyed the pose down because, look, Bobby came out. You wiggled and the table went like that. That's why.
Okay.
Anyway, so the pose down happened. What I thought was an A+ effort but was actually a B+ kind of performance, that stage should have rotated. That would have been so hilarious if that was Bobby, hit him with a pose, and he was like this, and it just kept spinning with him. I would have thought that over the moon. That's when you take a good idea to make it a great idea. And then Apollo, I enjoyed the fact that he showed a little bit more personality, and he was doing the little jokiness. I would have preferred no smiling, obviously, but it's hard to do. He's a babyface. I guess I'll let it slide. But I'm in. I'm in on this because I think that clearly Bobby needs somebody to work with that's going to make him look good. And I think Apollo Crews deserves the time, so I'm very excited for both of these guys.
So like most Raw segments, for me, there was good, bad, and ugly. The good was Apollo Crews showed more charisma posing there than he did in his whole career.
Right.
And I loved it. Again, everything you said is true. Loved it. The bad is that
there was a match.
They had a match, which they could have easily saved for next week because, Raw tried to build us something.
Sure.
As opposed to just giving us all at once. And the ugly is that Bobby Lashley said he wasn't wrestling tonight, but he came out in his wrestling gear and then wrestled.
Right. No logic. Out the window it went.
Yeah. So that's my 3 points of emphasis with that.
The 3-point system.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, it was Bobby wins, whatever. And then we get to a bunch of other stuff. I'm clearly curious to see what else you enjoyed on Raw because
I enjoyed Sasha's promo. I enjoyed that she tapped out Natalya, and I enjoyed that Ronda Rousey finally has a loss.
So here's the thing. They didn't really talk about the loss.
They went hard on social media about it, but, I mean, it happened at the end of the show.
But to me, it was one of those moments where you need to play that up right when it happens.
Yeah.
You need to make it an
I agree.
my God moment.
I agree.
Because on social media, that's great, but you've lost half your audience by then.
And you probably gained half an audience back, though, because a lot of
Sure.
people just talk about it and don't watch it.
Sure, that's fine. But at the same time, you're missing the hardcore people
I
that'll
agree.
be invested in it. So
I
that's
agree.
why I'm kind of pissed off about it. But again, it's an indirect loss. It's not necessarily the loss.
But
so
it's
still there.
The
It's
first
lingering.
loss on her official record.
Yeah, it is. And I'm excited that it happened. I appreciate
It's a big deal.
Here's the thing. I appreciated Sasha's promo. We'll probably get into the heat about a certain else's promo.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that yet.
But yeah, it's just there were good parts of it and there were bad parts of it, like you said. So let's move on.
It's Raw, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, let's move on.
The only other note I have from Raw that I liked is Baron Corbin continues to rack up the wins. We get to see an effective end of days, which I'm always for. I remember why I really started to like Baron Corbin. It was when he was so green and so raw down at NXT. he would literally come out and they would start counting because the matches would always end like the guy would get in the ring, end of days 1, 2, 3. They'd get up to like 20 like max, and it would be over. And it was just because that move is so effective and such a joy to watch that. Give us more of that. More, he can, like, I almost not really like jobbers, but have him face more mid-card people and just rack up wins by just hitting his finisher, because it's time to build Corbin back into that, like, strong heel badass so he can take that next step. Because now that he's proven he has the charisma and he can carry shows and do all these things, for him to get back into that main event level as an actual player, we need to reestablish him in the ring. Because he's had good matches. Like, Seth Rollins at the end of the year was putting him over so hard with that match they had on, like, New Year's or whatever. He's like, Corbin and I just had one of the best matches of the year, for those of you that didn't watch, which is many of you, or something. So he's capable of these things. So remind us of why he's so good and why he gets so many wins.
Alrighty then.
That's all I got on Raw.
Okay. You don't want very quickly, just a big
You
shout
can
out.
talk about more stuff.
I was gonna say very quickly, a moment of bliss. I just want to shout out Lacey Evans. I was very impressed.
Yes.
I thought, hey, there's a new character in town. I was very surprised.
That was the only redeemable part of the moment
Absolutely.
of bliss.
Boom. Heat time.
That segment fucking sucked.
Oh boy.
It was horrible. It was such a fucking mess. Like,
That was
everyone just coming out like it just. I know what they're trying to do because it's the Rumble, like whatever, but it's just like talk about good, bad, and ugly. So Lacey Evans was the good.
Yeah.
The bad was that, I mean, I would have liked Alexa Bliss to be a surprise, but I get promoting her in the Rumble because it gives more credence to that match because you now have another big player with like Charlotte and Carmella. And then the ugly was just the rest of it. It was just that segment was bad.
That was what we call the drizzling shits. It was
Not
bad.
great, Bob.
It is what it is, though. Moving on. I mean, I wonder if Moment of Bliss will continue. Probably every once in a while, I assume.
I'm sure, yeah. I bet it just won't be weekly.
But
Assuming she's...
I do agree. I do tend to agree. A nice surprise of her returning would have been great.
Yeah.
But I understand both
Stole
sides.
one of my potential 30 hopes. So.
Yeah, and it sucks because you're kind of hoping that.
But I get it because she is one of their bigger stars in the women's division. So being able to promote her and be like Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella are headlining the women's field, it gives it a little more oomph.
All right, something else that I wasn't really passionate about is we had Seth versus Mac and me 1000. It seemed like this match happened over and over again. Fine match, but there's no big deal. There's nothing going on for me in this matchup.
So I know how you like to say 32X. Well, you know that button that you can hit that skips 5 minutes.
I didn't know that exists.
I hit that 3 times and I got to the end.
Really?
I just don't care. There was no reasoning behind
to watch
it. They should have had loser comes out at number 1 or some shit.
Right.
Who even won? I don't even remember. Seth won, right?
Seth won. Yeah, with I think like a.
So does he stand tall in the Rumble? So this is my worst fear. We're in the heat now, so I can get all negative with this shit. My worst fear is that fucking Seth Rollins is going to come out at number 1 and win the fucking Royal Rumble.
Yep.
He's coming. It's going to be him and he's going to be 1. Almas is going to be 2.
Yep.
They're both going to last to the final 4, and Seth's going to fucking win.
Yep. Unbelievably.
That's my worst fear, and it's hashtag JC's fears coming true.
Hashtag JC's fears come true.
There's a first time for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not true. HBK and Undertaker continue to wrestle, so.
Well, they're not continuing apparently.
Yeah, that's
but we'll
it.
See. But no, I listen. I get it, and there has been no emphasis on number 1 or number 2 yet, so that's kind of where we are at.
Last year it was Balor and Rusev, wasn't it? Because I remember there were like 2 of my guys that I was like, I hope they win. And then I remember watching the Rumble. Out comes Balor, out comes Rusev, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And of course they both lasted forever. But still.
Yeah. All right, so for me, let's move on for something else. Very quickly, Dean Ambrose cuts a very, very, very unremarkable is probably the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Promo about his entire life being a shitstorm, and then 2018 wasn't great. He was in a hospital bed, whatever. And he talked about his WrestleMania career and having a WrestleMania moment and all that stuff and winning the Royal Rumble. But I had thought about it and I did some research. He has one of the most underwhelming WrestleMania careers of all time so far. All time. You want to know why? Because he doesn't do anything.
He loses in like 6-man ladder matches, right?
You go back and you go to Cage Fight. You go to the
they squashed Kane and the
Billy Gunn and
Road Dogg.
And
you didn't know?
They beat Big Show, Randy Orton, and I think Sheamus. Like it's just there's nothing very whelming over it. Like there's just nothing. It's just I thought about it and I'm like, Seth Rollins has moments in WrestleMania history. Roman Reigns clearly does. There's Dean Ambrose, a fly in shit. Like that's exactly what he is.
And this isn't the year for you either.
Nope.
Because that guy has the least steam he's ever had.
No, he is. He might be the coldest he's ever been right now. The coldest.
Agree.
It's really like I watched that promo and I went, wow.
Yeah.
We're both really Dean Ambrose guys, but I watched that and went, I'm going to back away. I got to back away.
Don't care about him right now.
I can't. You wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta go to rehab, like gimmick rehab or something.
You know what else is bad? The Lucha House Losers versus
I knew
Mahal
it.
and the Saints.
I
Why
knew
was
it.
that
I knew
like?
it.
I get it, but like, I just don't care. I mean, I don't even know. I'm assuming the Lucha House Losers won. I don't even remember.
Did you 32X that as well?
I mean, if I would have, it would have went way past it because it was like 2 minutes. So it was probably like 8X.
Yes, the Luchas.
I remember Mahal being very upset, so I'm assuming the Lucha House Losers won.
The Lucha House Losers did in fact win. I actually wrote in here, who cares? So you know what?
Yeah.
There it is.
All right, moving on.
Okay. Anything else on Raw that really got you hot
I mean,
and
the
bothered?
Revival got screwed by Kurt Hawkins, but that's just par for the course at this point. FTR. I don't want them to leave, though, because then I won't get to see them anymore. So I hope they stay and win the fucking title soon. We'll move on.
Very quickly, I just wanted to shout out that this stupid fucking...
Ronda?
Well, yeah.
Oh, we're not there yet?
Well, no. Well, let's get to Ronda. That's fine. I was going to say something else, but Ronda...
No, go for it.
No. We're already talking about Ronda, so Ronda's on the tip of my tongue. So look.
Ooh.
Some people believe that she spat her own words. I like to think that was a regurgitated scripted promo.
She writes, apparently, a lot of her own scripts, though. She has pretty strong creative
Okay,
control.
well, whatever it was.
That's why the diction is always so ridiculous.
I got to tell you right now, that might be the worst promo she's ever cut.
Oh, yeah, for her, yes.
Not once, twice, where she got so frustrated with where she was, she forgot the next line. It's like 2 days, no, 2 sentences. I mean, 2 sentences. And then this is going to happen. And she's fucking talking a mile a minute. It's like, we're going to go to the mall. We can go to the mall. We're going to do this. We're going to go to here. We're going to go to H&M. We're going to go to this.
Yeah.
We're going to go to that, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, shut the fuck up and slow down and just fucking stop trying to regurgitate all this information at me. Be very specific in your language and be very short with me as a viewer. It's unbelievable.
I don't even think it has to go that far. To me, when I look at a promo, I do enjoy those emotional, raw, like fired uppy type promos that are like, it's okay to be a little disoriented because like if you're in a moment and you're frustrated, like it makes it more real. But like when I can't follow what you're saying literally at all, like I had no fucking clue what she was saying, where she was going, I just had no clue. Then it's just I can't defend that because that just I rewound it and watched it again and I was just like,
still don't get it.
Again, my favorite GIF, the Nick Yen GIF that zooms in at the question marks. Like,
yeah.
I felt that, and yeah.
It is really bad. I mean, we make the joke about the dictionary thing and all that, but man, she had gumption. I'll give her that. She had gumption, and it was not very good. And I really think that we're never going to question anything she does in the ring.
Look, she's fantastic.
She's fantastic.
I'm so excited for that match.
But the moment she opens her mouth, I thought, less is more. Yep. Less is a lot more in this particular case. And it really takes me out of the specialness that she is sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's really alarming. She's becoming somebody that's just a normal person.
Well, it's again, with her, it's that 2 sides of the coin. One, for that argument, it's like you'd want her to be a part-timer and barely see her. But then the other side is everyone would bitch about, why is a part-timer get everything, blah, blah, blah. So it's a 2-sided coin.
Sure.
And yeah, she's very much become part of the shows, but that's what we were all asking for is like, let Ronda feel like she's there every week. She works I don't think she works every house show, but she works a good amount of them. Like she's around all the time, which is what people wanted. But now, so it's hard to complain about that factor of it for me because it's either like, do you want her to be like Brock Lesnar? Because it'd be more special, but it's, again, you'd have another like part-time champion. So,
okay.
2-sided coin. That's it. So what was the other note you had before we get hopeful?
Yeah. I was not a big fan of the Miz and Shane and the Bar this week. I appreciated
the bro kick was fucking dope.
I thought the end of the match was what had me interested, but the rest of the match was just like, what are we doing? And then like the schmaz everywhere. It was just everywhere. It's just, I get it. I get what we're doing, but why? Why are we continuing to do this? Keep having them not wrestle. Like that would
what I would have had instead is I would have had like One of the two teams. I think it would have been more effective, like having the Bar cutting a promo and having like Shane attack them there or something, and just do it backstage and just completely delete the match part because again, it was useless.
Yeah, there's a lot of throwaway stuff, which I get that not everything can have its importance. Not everything has to make sense in their particular mind. But as a fan, when I'm watching these things, I want to be entertained the whole way through, which I know is asking a lot, which I understand. There has to be a lull for something to be better somewhere. But you've got to try harder than that. And great, the car crash at the end, fantastic.
Yeah, that stuff was great.
Get
the pro kick, the table
Get me
spot.
to that point every single time.
Yeah.
But the match itself, I'm like, okay, he's pissed because he went through a table of cakes. That's essentially where we are, folks.
Yeah, whatever.
And it is what it is. So it's unfortunate, but The Miz will hopefully, like a phoenix, rise from these ashes of terrible booking and get to the main event of WrestleMania.
We'll talk about that probably soon.
All right.
Are we ready?
This
Are we
is
ready?
it.
Glorious. I won't give in. I won't give in till we give you all 30 hopes. Yes.
Hopesius.
So this is our favorite segment of all time. We get to do it once a year. It is JC and Nestlemania's 30 hopes for the Royal Rumble match is now because there's 2. So we each get 15.
All
we
right.
do our best to come up with some crazy shit and some stuff that we want to see. So do you want the honors or do you want me to have the honors?
I will let you go first, seeing as you're excited.
All right. Well, number 1, we're just going to fucking rip the Band-Aid off and go right for it. Give me fucking Kenny Omega in the Royal Rumble match. Get him out of his contract early from New Japan, just like you did AJ Styles. Carbon copy scenario and situations. Get that man in the Rumble. Because I was talking with our boy Ben yesterday at work, and it was just, obviously, like, I popped for the Hurricane last year. Like, that was a cool surprise because I love him. But when's the last time we truly had, like, an unexpected new star do it? It was AJ Styles. So this Rumble I'm already really excited for. I think it's going to be really good. I think there's a lot of good pieces in it. But for me, the thing that would put it over the top and make it so memorable is to get me Kenny Omega in the Royal Rumble match into WWE. Sky's the limit, baby. Let's do it.
All right. This is one that I'm very excited about because I think this might actually have, some of these are ridiculous, like on Planet Flafluga, but this one for me seems very realistic and gets me excited because I think his worth is very big. I want to see Batista come back and just annihilate everybody in the Royal Rumble. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think he's a superstar. I think he does a lot of good stuff. You clearly know he's coming back for WrestleMania at this point. So I'm excited. My hope would be Batista.
Yeah, sure.
You don't care. It's fine.
No. So, should I go to women?
Go to women.
You know what? We'll just go for it because I kind of spoiled it on Twitter anyways. I put out name 2 superstars, 1 male, 1 female. I would love to see return to WWE or make their debut in the Royal Rumble. Kenny Omega was the male for me. For me, the female was, let's light it up, AJ Lee, my favorite female superstar of all time. She's not going to come back full time, but I would love a guest appearance in the Royal Rumble. And there is one other piece that'll tie into another one of my hopes that I will give you soon.
Soon.
Maybe I'll give it to you in the next one.
Okay.
But AJ Lee returning guest appearance in the Royal Rumble match.
So here's something else that I was very excited about when I was scrolling through. I was like, who haven't I seen in a while in the women's division that I would actually pop for? And I'd be very excited to see. You know who hasn't been around for a while? She's been out of it for a very, very long time. I used to love watching Eve Torres. And I thought, man, she would have been so great in this era. And she's good with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's part of the Gracie family now. She knows so much in terms of self-defense, and she's a badass chick. And I would I would pop so hard to see her because I think that she's somebody that was in the wrong era. And I think right now she would be so fucking perfect. So for me, I want to see Eve Torres.
I like it. Well, you know what? We'll do it now. So I said AJ Lee in the ring. Well, there was someone who got their first ever match on the main roster against AJ Lee and beat her for the championship. AJ Lee was her idol. And this woman right now is not medically cleared. She lost her job as SmackDown GM. I'm assuming she's not medically cleared, but my hope is that she somehow does. And Paige returns and enters the Women's Royal Rumble. But not only that, I want the only person to be in the ring is AJ Lee so we can get a stare down and get a solid couple minutes of the two of them going at it because I just thought their chemistry was great in the short time they had together, and it would just be such a callback for all of us.
All right, mine's a little out of left field on this one. So we're going to have a bunch of, people in the ring, whatever. Breeze will be in the ring right then. And then, of course, returning Fandango.
Oh, I love it.
But here's the kicker. Fandango turns heel on Breeze and throws him out. Yes. That's
the
what I
end of
want.
the fashion files?
The end of the fashion files. I want him to think that he is so arrogant and so sleazy and so much better than Breezy and just go out and annihilate Kyler Breeze and have such a low card feud with this thing and elevate Fandango into an arrogant son of a bitch. I think that'd be fan-freaking-tastic.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good job by you.
Yeah.
So my next one is, I wasn't sure if he was going to be in it, but Dean Ambrose wasn't the only man who declared for the Rumble on Monday.
Oh, no!
Ura! Titus O'Neil is in the Royal Rumble match.
You know he's going to slide.
So here's my hope. Is Titus O'Neil running down to the ring, slips once again, goes under the ring. But then comes another superstar who isn't technically announced for the Rumble, but might be in it. Kurt Hawkins comes out, steals his spot, and immediately gets eliminated because that would just be fun. We kill two birds with one stone. We entertain JC for like 2 seconds, and it'd be great.
So I'll go with my Hawkins hope. I just want to see Kurt Hawkins throw out Baron Corbin. I think that right there would be one of those moments where you're like, that's like after months of being berated and being like losing and then Baron pissing all over him, just hum his ass over the top rope. I think that would be a nice little thing right there to add to both people. Kurt Hawkins got a little bit more this past week, and Corbin's kind of just bulletproof, I think, at this point. I think it would be an amazing little nugget in there.
I like it.
Yeah.
I hope one of our Kurt Hawkins hopes come true.
I can't believe we have two.
Of course we do. He's a stud. More on him later, too. So, WWE loves that crossover appeal with other things going on. And, even if it's different networks and stuff. But for me, when I look at the women's division, they have, I believe, 7 open slots. And one of them should go to one of the most underrated superstars of all time. But for that, we also got to bring back her voiceover guy. And now, coming to the ring, Eva Marie, which is no longer hashtag all red everything.
All purple.
She is now hashtag all purple everything. She is currently on Big Brother, cutting badass fucking promos on all the other people. I don't know. I got to talk with our guy Vinny at NBC because he's a big Brother guy. He was asking me for the scouting report. And so I have to see how she actually does. But I would love to see Eva Marie as surprise entrant in the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble.
I'll say this much. We'll stay in the theme of women. I think, as I say this name out loud, you and I are going to be popping for this one. I have it on good authority that she's making her wrestling return specifically in the New England area coming up at Beyond Wrestling.
Ooh.
Victoria enters the Royal Rumble.
I ain't the lady to mess with.
Woo! I loved her from the beginning, and I'll tell you right now, I'd pop so freaking hard. She's probably got to get in ring shape. She's already probably in amazing shape anyway. But what a Royal Rumble would be without her? I think this would be great. She wasn't in last year. I think when you think about the women, you think about Victoria, especially when there weren't a lot of great women in that particular era. So there you go.
I like it.
So that's that.
You know what else I like? Is, I think I do this every year on this program. It's kind of become a staple. And I had to fact check last year because he wasn't in last year's Royal Rumble. But this motherfucker is signed for fuck's sake. Shelton Benjamin. Put him in the Royal Rumble, goddammit. He's on the roster, but not only that. I was already had this as a hope, but then I saw yesterday he was tweeting with somebody about how he hates his current theme music. So I know what the perfect thing to do is?
Ain't no stopping me.
Out at number 3, ain't no stopping me. Nah! Shelton Benjamin with his old theme music in the Rumble. Let's do it.
Hopefully you'll get this right one of these days.
It's just like we all want it. He's the best.
All right, so something that I'm very excited about. It's a twofer that I'm probably going to kill 2 of your hopes right here. But we forgot about it because they kind of flashed it and they never talked about it again. I think 2 surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble will be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
So that's for me. I think those 2, we had those promos that were just showing up for either Christmas or New Year's. I think that's where we see both these guys do it. And it's going to be fun.
I like it. Well, we'll stick with the injured superstar narrative. We correctly called this hope 2 years ago. But you know what? Why not do it again? We get through number 9. The Rumble's kind of at a low. And then, there's been someone who's been out with a concussion for a few months. And, he changed his name on Twitter and everything just because, Why not tease the All Elite thing? But, number 10, the return of Ty Dillinger. Let's just do it. He's the fucking perfect 10. There's a number 10. I love that man. Bring him back. Let's do it at number 10.
So guess what? This is interesting because we have something similar but yet different. For me, I want to see Ty Dillinger come in. I don't care where. He comes into he's back.
Number
whatever.
10.
Whatever, sure. Gets RKO'd right away. RKO'd and annihilated by Randall. And just...
Randall?
Yeah, Randall. Randall Keith Orton. And so he does that, does not enter the Royal Rumble. They pick up their feud where they were. Randy wasn't supposed to be in the Royal Rumble. I know he's going to be anyway. But just to see him do that and seal Ty's moment, I think would be a nice little kickstart to get Ty back where he's supposed to be. So I want that to happen.
Okay. I think it'd be most effective if they did it at 10 because the crowd would be hot for it.
Sure.
So, yeah, we can just combine our two there, and I think we have a decent little thing going on there. Well, next up, I'll switch back to the women's division. And, someone that I've become a big fan of over the last couple months because I started watching NXT UK. And the first ever women's champion was Rhea Ripley, who is a beast. But she lost to Toni Storm a few weeks ago at Blackpool. So I would love to see Rhea Ripley enter the Women's Royal Rumble and enter the main roster women's division in some capacity. Because, again, her and Charlotte someday is going to be big fucking money.
Big money, you say?
Big money.
Big money. All right, well, sticking with the NXT UK. UK. You're going to have to go with me on this one for a little bit because this is where I get a little weird. So we have a bunch of people in the ring, and out comes the next entrant into the Royal Rumble.
Kiwi Buzzsaw?
No, fuck Kiwi Buzzsaw. Dave Mastiff, and fucking annihilates everybody. Fucking bowling shoe ugly, just everywhere, beating the shit out of everybody, tossing motherfuckers out, right? And then he's down by himself, and he's like, give me the come on, and out comes Mark Henry. You get the stare down with Mark Henry, and he beats the holy shit out of Mark Henry, picks him up, slams him, shows the Mastiff strength. The Mastiff time is in, throws out Mark Henry, and it is Mastiff time.
Wow, so you like the Mastiff.
I'm in on Mastiff all the way, baby.
You know who else would love Mastiff? Ben.
Yeah, Ben would love Mastiff.
He would love Mastiff.
He is a short, fat man, stocky
He's
as hell.
a very good version of fucking Dozovich dipshit there. All right, well, you know what? Kofi Kingston has to come up with shit every year. And so, I try to come up with shit every year to, have him do something. I successfully called the pancake stain and all these others. So this year I was thinking, what's something that'd be cool? And, it's hard to come up with ideas because he's done so much. But I don't think he's done this, but... It would be great, because all three members are in, right? So Biggie and Xavier get eliminated first, but they kind of hang out there. And they pull out from under the ring a trampoline. And just 4 or 5 separate times, people throw Kofi over. He lands on the trampoline and bounces back in. I think that would just be such a funny and cool visual. It would probably be hard to execute.
Oh, sure.
But imagine Biggie, and Xavier running around the side of the ring with a trampoline every time Kofi goes somewhere. And he gets thrown out, bounces off it, bounces back in. And you could have Jinder Mahal getting all frustrated, what the hell? I think that would be fun, so why not?
Okay, well, sticking with the Kofi theme, I don't really have a way to execute this, but I just think it would be really fucking hilarious and be the whole length of the entire Rumble. The idea here is, in a perfect world, Kofi Kingston gets to the Final Four, right? But you got to go with me on this. He comes out really early and somehow, some way gets eliminated, supposedly, not really. But when he gets kind of almost eliminated, he gets put in, near the entrance or in Loge 22, he is far away, and it takes him the entire Rumble to get back into the ring. So you see his physical journey to get from here to there the entire way, and I think that would be a lot of fun because it would give a story. We already know he does these little intricate things very quickly in 5-10 seconds, but in having the entire Rumble be his journey from a very far distance. I don't know how you do it, though, whether somebody gets it on a stretcher and he gets thrown on it and somebody goes and wheels him all the way out to the entranceway. But I think that would be really cool and really put the exclamation point on something like this.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know what else would be really cool? I love Alex Riley. You know that. Listeners of the podcast know it. The varsity villain, everything he was. I thought he was fantastic. I would love for a guest appearance from Say It to My Face himself, the man, the myth, the legend, another former Miz disciple, the better one, some might argue, over Daniel Bryan, Alex Riley in the Royal Rumble.
Alex Riley, the man that says, say it to my face unless you're on Glow. What a wonderful addition to the Rumble.
You know, that was a big signing by Glow. That's probably the reason why that show had so much success.
He was in one episode.
Yeah, that's all he did. They can't afford to do more than one episode with him.
I don't know. They have Chavo on a lot of episodes.
Yeah, but
Chavo is way more important.
Alex Riley won more matches probably than Chavo.
I doubt that highly. I don't think A-Rise had enough matches
Because
with Chavo.
Chavo's big thing was that he was upset that, he's like, good wrestlers are allowed to win too,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Excuse
That
me.
was like his thing. That's why he left.
All right, here we go. This is a very in-depth hope for Nestle. Here we
boy.
go. Ready? Bo Dallas is in the ring. I know. We're starting off hot. Bo Dallas is actually, getting over, doing his, random ha-ha thing. Lights go out. Bray Wyatt comes back and returns. We have that moment of brother versus brother, and they're just like, okay, very cool moment. Next entrant, IRS. And then we have dad and sons, and it's a three-way, and they just look at him like, what the hell are you doing, Mike Rotunda? Get out of here. I didn't file my taxes. The government is on shutdown. And they throw his ass out, and then they keep fighting. I think that would be a great generational hope for the Royal Rumble.
I like it.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you.
Oh, where to go next? You know what? So, on Twitter yesterday, there was a certain superstar that got a lot of fans all hot and bothered because he tweeted out, because the Velveteen Dream calls himself an act. He's a performer. And he doesn't like the way he's being treated right now, so he said, I will not perform until I get what I want. We all know what the man wants. He wrote it on his fucking tights at a takeover. Call me up, Vince!
Yeah.
So, he also then, locked his account and all that stuff. So this is either, I think it's a work of some kind. Because
Oh, sure.
They're not ever letting that motherfucker leave. He's young. He's locked up. He's the future of their company at some point. They're not letting him go. So what better way to scare all the fans to get a big pop is when the Velveteen Dream's music hits at the Royal Rumble and he enters the match. It'd be cool if he won too, but
Yeah.
that ain't gonna happen.
You know what would be great? This is where I throw back my wrestling hat from when I was like a little kid and 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. I would love to see Doink the Clown be a special entrant into the Royal Rumble.
And eliminate Heath Slater because that's the only legend he beat.
Telling you right now, Doink the Clown, not all these can be home runs, folks. Doink the Clown would be a nice little ha-ha spot, and then somebody could throw him right out because, listen, some of this has to be ebb and flow. You can't have heightened. You got to take a low spot here. I think that Doink would be a nice little ha-ha.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to say. Doink the Clown, motherfucker. Doink the Clown.
Okay, I approve. Well, my next one, getting back in the women's division, is who's going to be the one that has the dominant performance in 2019 in the Royal Rumble. They don't necessarily have to win, but who's going to get most eliminations? Who's just going to go on a tear? And there's no better candidate than hashtag always in the shine. Mandy Rose gets the most eliminations in the Royal Rumble. Have her eliminate some big names. Have her show off her super strength by dumping out Nia Jax and Tamina. Have her eliminate horsewomen. Have her just go crazy. You know what? Her and Sonya get a nice deep run. Let Mandy turn her again. They'll still be best friends because Sonya's loyal. So there it is.
Here's something that I don't know is ever going to happen in the face of the earth. Okay. This is my hope. This is where I think it could go. If it's not going to be Seth Rollins and Andrade at number 1 and 2, I think you send out the next logical choice at number 1, Elias at number 1.
Okay.
And he starts singing a song only to be interrupted by, get this, the Honky Tonk Man. I think that would be hilarious because Elias would just beat the piss out of him and then continue and then be able to make a funny song about the Honky Tonk Man after he throws his body over the top rope. You're throwing me off with these musical entrances here you're doing here.
I know, I might have just blown one.
Yeah, you did. You did. Because
you could hear that?
Yeah, we know what it is.
I left my volume up.
Elias and Honky Tonk.
I like it. It's a good hope.
You don't care.
I was focusing on other things because you know what? You know who else? I hope for this every year too, and it hasn't happened. But you know what? He was on Home and Garden Network, damn it. So, I don't know, how many years ago was that?
7 to 10.
He also had the most effective elimination in Royal Rumble history when he eliminated The Undertaker. Oh, crap. Now it's roaming.
Oh, egg on your face. Stupid.
Also, one of my favorite theme songs of all time. Mercy Drive, I think was the name of the band, right?
Yep.
Give me Maven in the Royal Rumble, folks. Well, just listen to the music if you're not ready. It's fine.
I am ready. If you want to keep doing that or not. You're going to pause it? Because I can't continue until you stop. Stop. It's not a good song after the lyrics kick in.
No, it's a great song.
It's the first 30 seconds of a song. That's all you need in wrestling, really. Maybe a minute.
Maybe if you're a jobber.
Well, jobbers usually don't get music. They're already in the ring, Joshua.
Former hardcore champion.
Yeah, that's a real
At WrestleMania.
Achievement.
Yeah,
Achievement.
at WrestleMania it was. I think he won twice.
Okay.
Or no, he lost it and won it back. I don't remember.
All right, for somebody like me, I love this man very, very much. I just would love to see a nice little Rumble performance by a special entrant. I would love to see Taz come in and start suplexing motherfuckers left and right because he's got a great podcast. He's on CBS radio as well. He's very, very big in the radio genre, and he's clearly everybody's favorite suplex machine. It would be awesome. He doesn't have to do terrible amounts of work in that, and he's probably still in decent shape. I would love to see Taz get in there and throw some guys around. Suplex City, the original.
Ooh. Okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
By the way, we only have 2 left.
I know.
For each.
So I have one that I'm definitely doing last, but my next one I could do could be to piss you off, or it could be just another fun one.
Oh, boy. Let's go behind pissing Adam off because we all know that's what's going to happen.
Well, you know what? I think I've hoped for this every year too. And he pretty much tweeted, he's like, it ain't fucking happening because they won't even put him on the alumni page, but it would make your boys the stars of Shining relevant. He spits in the face of people who think they're cool.
Stupid.
Carlito and his apple come out and he just starts spitting apple in everyone's face. And it would be a spit right into your face because Carlito is your favorite superstar of all time. So why not? Let's hope for it.
Carlito. Carlito.
He'd make your Shining jobbers relevant.
Shining jobbers.
They
have actual names, Joshua.
Let's see. They are Carlito's brother and Carlito's cousin.
Yes, they are. What does that do?
Nothing.
That's
their names.
Nothing.
That's
Because
their
guess
names.
what? They can't get on TV.
They haven't been relevant since they had Rosa Mendez.
That's not true. They've
is
been.
true.
No, that's not
They
true.
were tag champions with her.
They had brochures. They were relevant then.
They were not relevant. They were not. They were not.
Here's another surprise entrant that I would enjoy. He's been all over the Edge and Christian show and hilarious, which nobody would pop for except me. Pete Gas is hilarious on the show. I would have the whole Mean Street posse in there. It would be so fucking funny. I think it would be great. Pete Gas has been, if you haven't been watching the Edge and Christian show, Pete Gas steals every scene. Him and Christian are fucking hysterical. Hysterical.
Because Christian's the GOAT.
He is. But it just, if you haven't watched that show, you should check it out.
I saw the Randy Orton episode because they were pimping that hard. And, you know.
I love Pete Gas. Give me some gas all day.
Okay. Not bad. So I'm on my last one here.
Yes, you are.
So I saved this one for last because, you know, it's the last spot in the Rumble. We know it's R-Truth.
Oh, no.
And you know he's going to come out. He's going to be rapping. He's going to be singing. But it just is not the perfect opportunity for someone to beat the fuck out of him and steal a spot. There's one man that isn't officially announced for the Rumble that I would assume is going to be in it since, you know, he lost his title match. Braun fucking Strowman comes out, mauls R-Truth, enters the Royal Rumble at number 30, wins the Royal Rumble, goes to WrestleMania, and defeats Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, and all is right in the world. It'll definitely be a year too late, and the crowd won't be as hot as they were last year, but I don't give a shit. Give me Braun Strowman, give me a Rumble win, give me Brock Lesnar, give me the title, Universal Champion, Braun Strowman, roar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hype.
What's up?
What's up indeed. For me, I'm going on the last one because I think this is going to be playing into what happens going forward. I think that Tommaso Ciampa will enter the Royal Rumble and have an amazing showing. He will most likely still be the NXT champion.
Yep.
But I think that would be an absolute cherry on top for his weekend and what he's been doing in the last probably the last 2 years anyway. I was going to say 6 to 8 months, but Tommaso Ciampa comes in and annihilates a good hefty amount of wrestling meat. That's what I want to see. Tommaso Ciampa deserves it.
I like it. Almost entered the Royal Rumble last year as NXT champion after he defeated Johnny Gargano in a fucking classic. So after Ciampa defeats Who the fuck is
Aleister Black.
that's
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, I
You
forgot.
had the fucking thing hold up, don't you?
Not anymore, because we
Oh, for
aren't
crying
there
out
yet.
loud.
But I forgot. That's
Losing
yeah.
my voice.
It's all about Ciampa. That's why.
It is all about Ciampa.
I'm more excited for Ricochet Gargano. Woo! We'll talk about that later.
All right, let's move on to the comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. They've literally been there for years, but you know what? Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins face the facts, Adam. They're finally going forward with this tag team because everyone else in that tag team division is dead besides the Revival and the Piss Boys.
I love that you call them Piss Boys.
Well,
because
that's
I
what
say-
you said. And
Yeah.
the glorious duds.
Yeah.
But Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins starting a feud with the Revival of all people because they're the only teams left in the division, and that's just what's happening. But I'm excited for it because they've been teasing it for a while. Why not? You have them signed. You need tag teams. Why not do it? Kurt Hawkins, wildly entertainment. At one point in time, Zack Ryder was wildly entertaining. Maybe they can channel that back together. The Edgeheads, they're back and they're back big. They get my comeback, and they deserve it.
What a Major Brothers comeback. Good
Major
job.
Brothers.
Major Brothers comeback. Look, for me, I'm going to stay in the tag team division, but I'm going to back it up for Heavy Machinery, baby.
Oh, boy.
I love this tag team. My boy, Ben, I'm going to say my boy because you're embarrassed to talk about Heavy Machinery.
They
suck.
suck.
Listen. Their ceiling is only as high as Otis, but that's okay because, quite frankly, right now, it's a fresh, new look at the tag team division that clearly needs it. They're not going to move mountains. They may have one tag team title reign in them, but that's okay. Look,
The B team did, so why not?
yeah, it's exciting. At least, yes. Do they look like Well Done or do they look like High Voltage from WCW? Absolutely. But look, sometimes you need to hit a single, a double, or a triple, not a home run. These guys are utility players, and I'm excited to have them in the tag team division because, quite frankly, on Raw specifically, the tag team division has been terrible. Bupkis, nothing, zero, zilch, nada, anything. So listen, it's better than nothing, right? That's what I would say.
I would have much rather seen the Ascension win.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen because the Ascension are glorified jobbers anyway. So,
Glorified? They're not. They're just jobbers.
well, I'm excited when
When's
I
the
see
last
them.
time they won a match?
They won like a couple months ago when Victor was killing people.
I don't
Or was it?
remember that.
No, it was the other guy.
was Connor.
Yeah, Connor
You
was
think
the-
Vince is gonna push the little guy over the big guy? What are you smoking?
Not enough, apparently. All right, so there it is, our comeback. Now we're into the big old finishes. We got a lot to talk about as we've got the Royal Rumble as well as NXT TakeOver Phoenix, so let's get right into it.
Where do you want to start?
Let's go to TakeOver.
NXT, NXT, NXT. And so NXT TakeOver. This show is always super hot fire. We have 4 title matches, 1 non-title match. We'll start with the non-title match.
Non-title.
Bro, even Cap can get behind this guy. Matt Riddle versus, oh no, he's mediocre. Cassius Ohno.
Slow.
Yeah. Slow. Oh.
There you go.
Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. I mean, I think Riddle won the first one as we saw, like
Yep.
the knockout, and then I think Ohno did win the other one. This has still been a strong feud. I've enjoyed it. But give me Matt Riddle. It's time. He's the next big star down at NXT or whatever they decide to do with him. So he's gonna pick up the win, bro.
I love Bro. I think he's winning this in like 10 minutes or less, or your pizza's free. Like, it is a guaranteed victory for Matt Riddle. So there you go, Matt Riddle. Let's move on to the next one.
The NXT Tag Team Championship match. The Undisputed Era Studs versus the War Raiders. Do the War Raiders finally win? Or is it still stay undisputed on NXT?
I think it has to stay with the Undisputed Era.
Oh,
I think the Arrow will win.
okay. I don't.
Oh.
I think the War Raiders.
Okay.
This is a team they're building. They'd have a big focus on them. This is their first single shot at the titles in a while, coming off the injury after their epic showdown at the
the epic showdown you can't remember. Let's say
the one with the 2 rings.
concussions
and
are hard. War games.
That's what they call it.
War
War
games.
games.
You're
my,
terrible.
My brain's a little slow today.
Today.
I think I blew my load in the hope. So,
Well,
War Raiders for me.
There it is. I've already got it. Move on to the next one.
NXT
Joshua.
Women's Championship match. I am excited for this one. Really excited for this one. The champion, Shayna Baszler, will probably have her 2 goons with her.
Goons.
Taking on Bianca Belair, one of my favorite superstars at NXT right now. She's incredibly talented, and she is undefeated, the EST of NXT. But she's going to get her first loss at TakeOver.
Wow.
I think that there's going to be a little bit of cheating going on, but I think she will. I don't know if she'll tap out, but she will lose, and Shayna Baszler will retain her championship and give Bianca Belair her first loss ever. But Bianca Belair, for those of you that don't know, you're about to know. She's on her own against the wall. I love her theme song. It's so good.
I wish people could see you doing your hand gestures. It'd be so much funnier to me.
Yeah.
Look, so I think that Shayna Baszler most likely will win, but you know what? Just to be different, go against the grain. I think Bianca Belair is going to cash in.
Belair.
Whatever. Bianca Belair. Sorry,
There
I
you
got a
go.
little excited. She will win because I believe that Shayna Baszler is coming up soon. So I think this is it. I think that she's been undefeated for a while. And you know what? Triple H has a good track record of making undefeated beasts down in NXT. I think that she's a special talent. Bianca Belair, is going to win the NXT Women's Championship.
I hope you're right, but I don't think you will be.
Okay.
Moving on, the NXT North American Championship match. Woo, Nelly! I'm so excited I can't even talk. Ricochet, the champion, defends against Johnny Gargano in one of my most anticipated matchups in a long time. These two put on wrestling clinics, no matter who they face, no matter where they are, no matter what they're doing. This match has so much potential, which I don't even know if it can live up to the hype I have for it in my brain. I'm assuming this will probably kick off the show because, woo-wee! But you know what? I think Johnny Gargano's going to win the North American Championship.
Wow.
I do. And maybe you'll have a hope about Ricochet next week. I'll table it for next week. But I just have a feeling. I still think Johnny Gargano is going to face Ciampa again at some point, but his promo where he cut about just talking about how everything's won on championships is like, this is the first time I've really seen that focus out of Johnny, and I think he's going to get it. He might have to cheat a little because he's kind of like that weird like heel face thing, but he's pretty much a heel. Give me Gargano.
I too am on the Gargano train. Yeah.
That disappoints me.
No, I just look. I love
Ricochet.
I love
so much.
Ricochet, but Rick O'Shea is had what he can do right now with that particular championship. I think that he's got bigger and better things coming on right now. Gargano's kind of a staple in NXT, has been for a very long time. I think it's well deserved and overdue. So for me, I'm excited and think that it's now Gargano's time.
All right. So at least one of us think there's going to be a title change in each match so far. But will we in the main event of NXT TakeOver? Tommaso Ciampa, the champion, defends against Aleister Black. Will Ciampa's reign fade to black, or will Aleister be sent home sad?
You had that until the end. You should have said, or will Aleister Black get a black heart? You know, like, because that's what they call him.
Yeah.
Black heart. Something.
It's a little too corny.
You drizzled at the end there.
Yeah, it was a little too corny.
You fumbled at the 1 yard line, Josh.
When you're going to go corny, like, there's like a limit, and when you reach that threshold, you stop, and it'll be effective. But if you do that, that's the problem.
You were deflated. You were deflated.
No. I did deflate a little bit, but I did it on purpose. No, you over corny things, and that's when it's just like, you leap the dolphin. But you know who's not? Tommaso Ciampa, champion, retains.
As I said in the 30 Hopes, Ciampa will be still the NXT champion and enter the Royal Rumble, so that's what I'm talking about there. That's my boy, and that's all we need to know about that. Let's move on to the 2019 Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Let's get ready to rumble. First match, pre-show, let's go. Fatal 4-way for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. The champion from Down Under, Buddy Murphy, defends against Akira Tozawa, former champion for like 5 days. Thanks to Titus Worldwide, shout out. Versus Hideo Itami, who Daniel Bryan clearly wants to face. And Kalisto's in this match because why not? Lucha House Parties for everyone. He's definitely not winning. You know who's going to be Cruiserweight champion?
Itami.
Fuck. I want to be different. I think
there's only two people. It's either Buddy Murphy or Itami that's winning this matchup. The other two are just there to
so
take
when
the pinfall,
I see
do cool stuff.
Exactly. When I see Fatal 4-way, especially like in a match of this caliber, it makes me think they're going to take this off Buddy and send him to another show. Mm-hmm. Like he's going to be on the bigger and better things because he's barely like maintaining the weight down there because he had to drop so much.
I just blew it, didn't I? Itami for Nestle. There you go.
Give me Buddy Murphy. I think they're going to zig when we all think they're going to zag. He will lose that at some point.
He's not working there anymore.
I mean, I think he's going to be in the Rumble regardless.
Maybe.
Because that's the thing they started last year is they took their champions from the other brands and threw them in.
Sure.
So Pete Dunne, Tony Storm, all these guys, like they all I think will have a chance. But yeah, I guess I'll take Murphy.
Wow, that was defeating, wasn't it? Wasn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
Take that, you son of a
Other
bitch.
match on the pre-show, the United States Championship will finally be defended. Rusev against Shinsuke Nakamura. But it's Rusev Day, so Rusev wins.
Rusev wins, and what I said in this program, it doesn't matter. Rusev has done nothing and still has done nothing, unfortunately. This was a hot feud, and then it went nowhere real quick.
Well, the last 2 weeks is just, we've seen on SmackDown, they're like, it's also like, oh, the Club Insanity, we care, and then they're gone again.
They don't care enough, apparently.
Well, they just don't have enough time.
Consistency.
Because they'd rather give us a Miz Cesaro match, which means nothing. But it's beyond the point. Speaking of that match, I think that'll be the first match to kick off the pay-per-view, so we'll start there. They don't just set the bar, they add a bar. The champions, Sheamus and Cesaro, better known as the Ben Boys, the Fella Twins, whatever you want to call them, defend against the Miz and the Mac.
The Miz and the Mac.
The Miz and Big Mac Shane McMahon for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Who you got?
I think it's the Miz and Mac.
Yeah,
I think it's time.
I think it is too, especially with how SmackDown went. Like, whether you like it or not, there's a lot of people who like it. There's a lot of people who don't. The Miz and Shane McMahon are winning those nickels.
Nickels and dimes.
The blue nickels, and they're going to be carrying them around.
This
is how I would book into Mania. I'd have, because I just don't want that match to be at Mania. Yeah. They win the titles here at the Rumble. They lose them in the Chamber. They get in a fight. They have their match at Fastlane. And then The Miz goes on to WrestleMania and defeats Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. It's not going to happen because I think The Miz is going to Raw because, have I told you this why?
No.
Because we have the Fox thing is coming.
Yeah.
So E-Network is on USA. They have a lot of shows on there, including The Miz and Mrs., which is a big hit and isn't going anywhere. I think they kind of got to send Miz to Raw because he needs to still be on the USA Network so they can cross-promote. So that makes me think that he's not going to be WWE champion unless they flip the big titles, which I don't think they do.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah. So that's my concern. That's my real analysis on why it won't happen. But that's what I'd like to see happen. But yeah, tag champs.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you want to go next? Let's go to the singles match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Rowdy freaking Rousey, Ronda of Rouseys, defends her title against it's boss time, the boss, Sasha Banks.
This is going to be one of the best matches of the night, but I think that it's clearly 100% Ronda.
Does Sasha tap out or does Ronda win by pinfall?
I think she taps out.
I got Rousey. I think she wins by pinfall.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Singles match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Asuka, the champion, in her paper plate mask, as Becky likes to say, defends against Super Hot Fire Becky Lynch. Asuka's winning. Becky's going in the Rumble. More on that later.
I think we all have the foregone conclusion that it is going to be Asuka and then Becky will be in the Rumble. I think everybody thinks that.
What if they have Becky win this title, Sasha beat Rousey, Rousey win the Rumble, and that's how we get it. It's on SmackDown.
That'd be an
because
interesting
here's the other flip. I think Rousey's going to SmackDown at some point because of Fox.
Why are you whispering?
Because it's UFC cross promotion.
Okay.
So do they do it now or do they wait?
They can wait till October.
I know they can, but will they?
I don't know.
So there we are. Yeah, I'm taking Asuka though.
Okay.
It's just fun to like throw out the other side and make people go, ew, and then be like, no, I'm crushing your dreams. Singles match for the WWE Championship. The champion, Captain Planet himself, the ugly vegan, Daniel Bryan, defends against the face that used to run the place, the champ that no longer runs the camp, AJ Styles.
Captain Planet, he's a hero. Bring pollution down to zero. Captain Planet wins.
Give me Goat Boy.
Yeah. Love Captain Planet. Super hot fire. That man.
I watched that show when I was a kid.
You
probably still watch
Here's
it.
where my head explodes. You know what Captain Planet is, yet you don't really talk about Carmen Sandiego.
Because that was before my time. We went over this. We literally
No,
went through
it's
years.
not before your
I
time.
was 3 years old.
Oh my God.
I watched Arthur.
Captain Planet was in the 80s.
Yeah, but they
numbskull.
fucking replayed it all the time.
Doesn't matter.
They
You
never
can't say it's
replayed.
before your time.
They never replayed San Diego Carmen.
Erroneous.
It's fact, not opinion.
Erroneous.
Pickles suck. Shut up. Singles match for the WWE Universal Championship. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, defends against Leather Jacket, Finn Balor. Who you got?
Under 17 minutes, Brock beats Finn, and it's a good showing, but he's
You think it's going to go that long? Damn.
I think it's going to go longer. I think it's a slow start, and I think it's going to be a hot mess of a finish. I think it's going to be all over the place.
Is Braun interfering?
No.
Okay.
Braun will not interfere.
Because he's going to win the Rumble.
Because he's going to win the Rumble.
Ooh.
And I think, very much so, that Brock is going to enjoy this matchup. Yeah. I really do.
Brock wanted this matchup. He's getting it. Balor Club is for everyone except Brock Lesnar. And an F5. End of scene. Brock Lesnar retains his championship that exists in the universe, which is more than the world, as he pointed out on Twitter.
Wow.
Woo! Now we get to the fun part.
Last two?
The 2 Rumble matches.
All right.
Let's start with the women's. We need a Final Four and a winner.
Whew. All right. Let's get down to brass tacks, shall we?
Yes.
All right. So we're going with the women. So I'm thinking, in my head, I'm going to write down Charlotte, Becky, clearly they're going to go out together, so that's my
You think
pick.
they're tying, right?
They are Lex Lugering and Bret Harding all over the 94 Rumble, all over again, and they're going to go there. I'm thinking Charlotte and Becky will be the winners, and I think that Carmella will be in there.
Ooh.
Because she's in 30.
Okay.
And I also believe, don't ask me why, I was going to say Tamina, but it's not true, Nia Jax will be the last one. That's what I think. Nia, Becky, Charlotte, and Carmella.
Okay. Very valid picks. So, I don't remember. I know I picked Ember and Becky to win the Rumble. They're for sure going to be in my Final Four, as is Charlotte, those 3. Oh, who do I think's going to win? Should I go with my heart or should I go with my brain?
Do you want to be right or do you want to have fun?
I mean, either way, I'm having fun because Becky and Ember would be my top 2 choices. Okay. I think Becky wins the Rumble. I think Charlotte and Ember are there. But number 4, I've had a problem with number 4 because there's so many good options. There's Mandy Rose. There's Sonya Deville. There's other people. Carmella's a good one by you. Nia Jax is a good one, but
I'm not like most girls.
I'm going to throw as my other finalist in the Final Four. God, I wrote this down and I deleted it. Who did I have?
Trish Stratus.
No, I thought that. I mean,
Sasha Banks.
I could see that.
Bailey.
I don't know if Sasha will be in it. Bailey might have been the person I wrote down, but that's not who I'm going to pick.
Mandy Rose.
I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, you got Becky and Charlotte. I got Becky winning. So, either way, we think it's going to be super hot fire. That match will be fun. It was a lot of fun last year. It main evented last year. It might main event again this year.
Who knows? Who knows?
Because the women are the hottest thing in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Main eventing the majority of the shows. But you know what? We have one match left. And it's the Men's Royal Rumbles match. 30 men enter. 1 man reigns supreme.
Hopefully.
So, who you got?
All right, so as I've said on this program before, as we were checking in, Seth Rollins is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Is he coming in at 1?
Hope not.
Hashtag JC's fears come true.
I really do think it comes down to somebody on Raw winning. I really do.
Seth Mack and Strowman?
But I think Strowman should win, and I'd be excited to be wrong. But it seems like Brock versus Seth seems like a lot more of the WWE billboard to me. Especially since they didn't want Braun near Brock for a while. They can see either. But I will say Seth Rollins wins for me. And I will say we're going to do... So Seth, Mac, Joe, Samoa Joe, from the SmackDown side.
I was hoping to go Roman Reigns.
That was something we should have put in the 30 hopes.
I did have it, but I ran out of hopes.
It ran out of time. Sorry,
I had a couple more good ones, but
That's
we'll
fine.
table them.
Okay, maybe you should put them in an article.
I'll do them next year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll be relevant next year too, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm sure I'll do Alex Riley, Maven, and Shelton Benjamin.
All
again.
right, so my last pick would probably be... I for some reason, I'm going to say Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
I think Rey Mysterio is going to be up there.
Interesting. For me, those 3 from Raw, Drew, Seth, and Braun, are all for sure going to be in the Final Four. One of them will win, but my 4th finalist, coming from the NXT brand, the Velveteen Dream. I think the push is coming. I was thinking Almas, but I think he'll be out at this point. So you know what? I'm just gonna throw a Hail Mary here and throw in Velveteen. My winner. Any of those 3 Raw guys, I could see main eventing WrestleMania. I give the slight edge to Seth and Braun. But you know what? I don't like to live in fear. I like to grab fear and tip it over like a fucking truck. Braun Strowman wins the 2019 Royal Rumble, goes on to WrestleMania, and beats Brock Lesnar. Hashtag JC's hopes come true. JC knows. Royal Rumble, I'm so fucking pumped. Are you fired up, baby? Let's go. Woo! That's what I'm fucking talking about. Not only does Tiger Woods play golf this week, we get the Royal Rumble. What a fucking week, man. Woo!
All right, well, we have talked for way too long on this program. I think it is time for you to do the rest of the crap we got to do.
Jobberknocker.com is the website where you can find all the goddamn links to the podcast. iTunes, SoundCloud, Podomatic, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. Like, subscribe, dominate.
Yeah.
Dominate that shit. 5-star, 5 flames, download. do it, guys. It really helps us out. We appreciate it. Also, on that website, there's a link to Pro Wrestling Tees. You can go to that and buy the shirts, which are great. They're Super Hot Fire, Monday Night Rerun, and the regular Jobber Knocker. Get them. They won't come in time for the Rumble, but you might get them.
There's also, TJ pointed out that there is a sale going on right now, Pro Wrestling Tees.
There is a sale. So now's a great time to buy your shirt, to rep the Jobber Knocker brand, your favorite wrestling podcast on the fucking planet. Also on the website, we got a bunch of shit, like we already mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
NXT and NXT UK, like this week's show, recap, analysis things, picks and preview, all that shit's coming. Our predictions, along with the rest of the staff's predictions for the Royal Rumble, as well as NXT, will be up there. You got your article about the 6 call-ups, how to book them. You got Danny's article about the breakout stars for 2019. You got other shit that's really good that's up there. You got mine coming soon, more coming soon, so much good shit. But also Twitter at Jobberknocker, at Nestlemania, at JC of the JK, at DQ of the JK, at Ray Ray of the JK, at Billy D 2411, at Joe Pollock 47, at TJ of the JK, at Real Deal B Cox.
Yeah, you got them all.
Fuck yeah, I'm not doing that every week, guys. That's way too hard. So if you do something, I'll try to pimp your thing. But God, this is difficult. Facebook Jobberknocker, Instagram Jobberknocker. We're everywhere you want to be on podcasting networks, social media networks, the world networks, and the Royal Rumble motherfuckers. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere. That's actually pretty good too.
We're here, we're there, we're everywhere.
See you next week.
And right before we get off, make sure to take a look out. Our boy Ray Ray will be at NXT and the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So if you see a guy that's got glasses and probably doing something with the cables, that's our boy Ray Ray at Phoenix.
Know what you do? If you see him and you're at the Royal Rumble, just yell, Super Hot Fire! In his direction. He'll know what it means.
On that note, thank you for listening for the Jobber Knocker. We hope you enjoy Royal Rumble weekend. We will too. We'll see you next week with more Jobber Knockery.
Bye, guys.